So welcome to my VR world. Those of you who played VR games before, I'm sorry to disappoint you. We are not going to be playing a game. I'm just going to show you how customers can be enhanced. Customers' views and analytics can be enhanced by the use of small, very simple but very effective ways of storytelling using data. So let's take a high-level example. Here's my dashboard that says my overall sales or overall profitability is so and so dollars or rupees, right? So this is the old way of doing analytics where I come up with a bunch of numbers, throw out a number, but then it can be enhanced. Let me show you one more view. We add one more tab. We just place it to the center so that we can start to compare it. Let me pull up a view. So the new way of analytics is, instead of just giving away a number, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to show it in the form of a dashboard like this, right? So let me put this in full screen or maybe expand the browser. You can see this a lot better. So this is how I'm going to be looking at, instead of just saying total profits at so and so, maybe now total profits is spread across different states like this, right? Let me view it a little bit differently. It tries to automatically fit to my VR lens, but I'm going to just change it back to my desktop setting. All right. So this is a full-fledged view of overall profits, how I'm doing with respect to every state. As I hover over each of these states, I can see tooltips pop up. I can see individual profits based on states, how they are popping up. And I can add one more enhancement to this as well, right? And so in addition to looking at overall profitability, let's say I run it through a predictive model. This is how a predictive model will look like. Again, those of you who know me, I'm a big fan of no code or low code tools. And I've created a regression equation, linear regression equation. For those of you who don't know it, don't worry, we'll cover that in class if you're going to take a class with me. So this is an example of how I would create a linear regression equation using one of my favorite tools, 9. So I just run a node. I just say, import the Excel file, run a linear regression model, pick and choose variables that I want to use, and here's the output. So that's my output. Now going back to what I can do with this output. Now this is the main engine behind the analytics, but how do I connect this back with a visual metric? It's going to be my next tab over here. And if I go ahead and look at tab number D, and I probably need to switch it to desktop layout. As you can see, I need a little bit practice to kind of take it from my, I'm used to using my controllers, but it's probably better if I choose my there you go. There you go. So this is much better. So we just put this on full screen. There you go. So I can now do a what if analysis. I can say this is my actual profits, but based on the equation that we saw in the earlier screen, I can say these are my predicted sales. And guess what? I can see how my projected sales, if I increase it to maybe a different number, will that increase or decrease? And same thing with my projected discount. If I try and say instead of 0.13 or 13%, let's say I increase it to maybe 20%. And what does that do to my predicted equation? You see on the chart on the right is going to increase or decrease or change based on that. So these are some really cool what if analysis that I can give back to my customers. I can tell them, hey, if you increase your sales, look at what's going to happen to your predicted profit. If you increase your discount, Notice what's going to happen to your predicted profit and so on. And again, within each of these, I can drill down. These are called visual tooltips. I can hover over each of these states, and an image that pops up that tells me how the sales is with respect to each of these subcategories or products within those particular states. Now, let's say you're done with all of this. I'll exit my full screen. My last tab, which is going to give me the lowest level of detail, where maybe let's use this one. Or I'll use, yeah, this guy over here. This is the advantage of having, it's almost like having your own multiple screens. I can just toggle along. I can look at my equation. I can see, sales has a positive impact, but discount has a negative impact on overall predictions. And then if I look at my overall final view, change it to desktop layout so that it's easy to visualize. And then now my final what if analysis or my final view, if I put this on full screen mode, here's what it's going to look like. So I can see, this is my overall sales or profits. If I click on a particular state, the details down at the individual cities now pop up. And the other cool thing is I, as a customer, I can look at maybe a 3D view. Wow, something like this. And I can really analyze and see my data come alive. I can see for a particular state, how are my overall cities doing? Larger the dots, more the sum of sales, darker the blue, more the profits, and darker the orange, more the loss. And I can do the same thing over and over again. I can spend countless hours on this exact same dashboard. I can come back here, maybe select a different state. Let's say I go ahead and select a different state here, or another state over here. I can again put this into a 360-degree view, and I can really see my data come alive. I can instantly see at a glance, based on size and color, strongest pre-attentive attributes, how my predictions come alive.